And again, let's just give our lovely friends at Fox a hand hosting us tonight. And now you've seen her in action, we want to welcome the wonderful Aussie actress Elizabeth Debicki up here. And the credits will stop in a second. All right, that's it, run. You don't have that backpack on. Thank God. Hi. First of all, I want to thank Elizabeth was involved with the Heath Ledger Scholarship judging, and Charmaine, where are you? Where did Charmaine go? Is she in the, there she is, our winner. So they get to meet tonight.
We get to hug tonight.
Well, while we're waiting for the credits to finish, we can start anyway. But let's talk a little bit about how you got involved with this movie. Steve McQueen, you know, the director that everybody wants to work with. What was that like?
Well, how I got involved with this was that I had just landed back in Australia after a really lovely long flight from London, and a little email pinged in my inbox that said, would you please put a self-tape down for Steve McQueen? Which was obviously a terrifying concept. So I, immediately emailed back and said, of course, when do they need it, and can I offer my firstborn child as sort of down payment? What do I do? So then I went into my friend's garage and put a self-tape down. And then about 2 days later, I was here, so it was quite quick, and I flew over to meet Steve, who was here at that point in time, with Ian Canning, our wonderful producer, and I auditioned for him, and I did a few scenes, and the terror was real, but we did it, and I fell deeply in love with him as a human soul. He's a really remarkable, incredible human. And I just was desperate to play the role. So I guess I sort of went in with a degree of obsession and possession about it, and luckily he responded to that.
Well, what spoke to you about the role? Why did you feel you were the right person for that role?
Lots of things spoke to me about Alice. I felt a really deep compassion for her. For whatever reason, it's a difficult thing, I think, as an actor to be able to say exactly why something grabs your heart and some things don't. I think sometimes it's something to do with where you are at in your life as a woman, and this sort of, I mean, not to sound too dark about it, but the demons that need to be exercised a little bit. And I think that where I was in my life, there was something about Alice's story that to me was always about, on a really basic level, a woman who believes she's not worth anything, discovering that she is worth something, and has a power in her that she doesn't know is there, and is intelligent, and the things that, are used against her in a way are actually her strengths, and a woman who's objectified to such a huge degree, sort of breaking out of that mold. I mean, there were lots of things that resonated with me, and also I'm half Polish, and I've never been able to play anybody from, never played anyone mildly Eastern European, and there were lots of things about Alice's repression and the abuse she suffers, which read very true to me in terms of the sort of patriarchal structure I've observed in my family and the women in my family, to not as significant degrees we see with Alice, but it's very pervasive culturally. So that's a long answer, but that was my answer. Yeah.
And obviously one of the producers, Ian's Australian as well, at Seesaw Films. And your mum, everybody in here I'm sure recognised your mum was played by Jackie Weaver, another Aussie treasure. How was that?
So excited when I walked into the office one day and we were in rehearsal in Chicago and Ian sort of poked his head out and he sort of said in this sweet, relaxed, and he goes, "Oh, Jackie Weaver's playing your mum." I nearly hit the floor. I was like, "What? Jackie bloody Weaver? What the hell is happening?" I couldn't believe it. I mean, I've met her a few times and she's just the best human woman in the world, apart from my own mum. Yeah, I mean, she's an icon, you know, as an Australian actress. She's this iconic, you know, persona in our industry, and she's so amazing in the film, I think, because she's just so, she's so, I hate it, but you do love her and sort of laugh at her, and there's like this cruelty, but it's tragically funny. And I remember doing the funeral scene, and I was sort of very weepy, and we did quite a few takes of it, and I just got sort of pinker and more snotty, and Jackie just got funnier. And I just sort of looked, I mean, it was unfair really, but perfect, you know. Everyone's laughing at the monitor while I'm going, oh, you know. But she's so great, she's such an amazing actress.
I'm going to open it up to some questions from the audience in a minute, but the one thing I want you to talk about is that I know there's some thrilling moments and dark moments, but you talked earlier today when we did an interview about when you were shooting the heist scenes, they were very difficult, but you guys kind of found a way to come together that sounds uniquely female, I think. I don't know if a guy's in a heist movie would be doing what you were doing, but I wonder if you can talk a little bit about that to the audience.
It sounds so secretive now. We all painted our nails. No, I'm joking. We danced. We danced a lot making this movie. I think it was just a very sort of physical exercising of, I mean, the heist was extremely, well, for me, because I'm a wuss, but the adrenaline was immense, and it was very repetitive. It was, you know, we went up and down those stairs 60 times, maybe, I'm not sure. It was great, though. I lost heaps of weight. I was super fit. But no, I mean, we danced a lot, and we used to sort of roll those heist things down and flip our masks up and put Michael Jackson on, and it was sort of 4 a.m, and we did that quite a lot, which luckily did not bleed into the tone of the movie. No. Yeah.
And was Steve McQueen everything you hoped he would be?
Steve is a great dancer. He's an amazing dancer. He loves some Michael Jackson and Prince and George Michael.
And as a director,
he's a writer, as a director, no. He's just the most truly remarkable person I've ever been given the chance to work with. And
wow, and you've worked with a lot of great people, so.
Yeah, he's a really unique creature. He has an he's incredibly sensitive. He's deeply intuitive. He's terrifyingly accurate when he reads you. As a person and as an actor, you cannot hide, and but you don't want to. He has many gifts, but he has this ability to draw out the thing that you want to say but are scared to say, which is pretty remarkable, really, and really helpful when you're making a film. Because, I think sometimes as an actor you come to work and you know what you want to achieve with the scene or with the text or with that turning point, but you don't ever really know if you can, and that's the nice edge, that's the sweet spot in a way, that kind of terror. It's the buzzword today, apparently. But that sort of fear and the challenge of that is where, for me anyway, that really feeds me. And then when you have that happening on a set, but then you have it sort of, you feel like you're in the hands of somebody like Steve, there's so much trust there that you go to the place that you know you want to go to with the work, and you know that it's going to be received and respected and really seen.
Great. Okay, so who has a question for Elizabeth? Don't be shy. Hello. Come on.
What did you learn working with Steve McQueen as an actress?
Viola is an amazing human woman. She's just so good at acting. She really is completely one of a kind. And working with, I think as an actor, you're only as good as the people you're opposite, really. You're only as good as your scene partner and your director. And you couldn't really ask for a better scene partner than Viola. And when I remember working with her, it really felt, I heard myself explain it the other day and it sort of made sense, so I'll repeat myself, but it sort of felt like a wrestling match. We went in there and we just went for the jugular of the scene together, and we supported each other, sort of trying to get to that place. Again, sort of held by Steve, I guess. But, I think when I think about what people respond to in terms of Viola as an actress and a woman, it's something to do with her courage. She's so brave with what she puts on the screen. She's so raw and she's so open and she lets you in. And she has such deep humanity to her. And, as an actress and a person, they're not really, you can't really separate them. She also has this really remarkable, beautiful sense of humor. So she's such a funny person, but
even when you're slapping her,
not so much then. that was tough for us. And from Steve, I think I learned a big lesson in being human and being brave enough to tell the truth.
Okay. Over here.
Did you actually slap Viola Davis?
Did you actually slap Viola Davis was the question.
No. No, I didn't. No. It's funny, those film slaps, because they get very close sometimes. You can really feel the air just go just past your cheek. Jackie, I think. I just had a memory. I feel like maybe we missed once. But no, not Viola. I would never.
Up there?
Me?
Yeah.
Did you did a really good job playing a Chicago Polish girl. I
Thanks.
lived in Chicago and know quite. Did you hang or kind of like just meet some local Chicago girls in that world and community? I kind of guessed it before it was even known, so you did a really good job, because there's like in just the way you were playing your character. But did you kind of go out into the world, and did you have any either film characters or real people that you kind of inspired the character?
Well, I'm half Polish, so there's a lot of my family in Alice. There's a lot of cousins.
But the accent you have now isn't the.
No. That was my. We had an amazing dialect coach actually who worked with myself and Colin and. No, little. No. I spent a lot of time in Chicago and a lot of time in what is that part of it? It's not the Polish Quarter, it's the Czech, there's like the whole big Czech quarter, isn't there?
It's like Milwaukee Avenue.
Yeah, listen, I ate a lot of pierogi. I ate in a lot of diners. I did go on, when I first got to Chicago, I got on quite a few buses because I thought I'll just sort of get immersed. I went to lots of Catholic churches. I went to lots of Polish Mass. And one day I was coming back from Polish Mass on a bus, and I had a bit of a run-in with somebody, a little bit of an incident. I was quite a little bit shaken up by it, and Steve, who sort of has this psychic thing, called me as soon as I got off the bus. He said, "What's wrong?" I said, "Nothing, I just got off the bus from church." There was this big long pause. He said, "What the hell were you doing on the bus from church?" It's like, I'm getting in character, Steve, what do you think? I did spend some time.
Okay. Down here.
Did you actually do any target practice yourself?
Yes,
Did you do any target practice is the question?
Yeah, we did quite a lot of it actually, which I really, really did not enjoy.
Were you as good as your character?
I'm actually quite good. Not as good as Michelle, but and Viola's very good too, actually. But I surprised myself. Yeah.
Up there? Yep, you.
Hey, what did it mean to you to be part of the, I guess, this female ensemble where the film is really just writing women's stories?
I mean, it meant a tremendous amount. I mean, I've never been on a set that's that female-centric, and I've never read a script like it. Just to start with, I'd never read a script that was about 4 women before. It doesn't really happen, really. I mean, when Linda LaPlante wrote this in the 80s, it was revolutionary because everyone was sort of amazed to see 4 women on screen, and then a lot of time goes past and it's still amazing, it's still rare, you know. So it meant a huge amount, and the experience, and I mean, we were so bonded when we were making the film, and we're still very close now, and you know, I mean, art mirrored life, mirrored art, in the sense that we were very empowered when we were making this film about female empowerment. So I mean, it was just so great to make it, you know, and really, I walked off the set and I was sort of devastated going, I don't know if it gets better than this, really, as an actress, you know, just that sort of community of women and the amount of compassion and love we had for each other was pretty extraordinary.
One more question? You want to choose?
Well, I saw your hand up first. Yes.
I'm not familiar with your entire body of work, but most of what I've seen is these very strong, complex, sometimes dark women. And I'm wondering if you are always drawn to that, or whether you haven't received comedic material, or whether you have done, you know, comedy. I'm just curious about what you're doing going forward.
Yeah, nobody's sort of like has thrust comedy my way, which is obviously a shame for all of us. I just wrapped a movie 4 days ago in Italy, and I crawled off the set and went, please, somebody send me a comedy. I'd love one. I am drawn to those kinds of roles. Definitely, that's sort of that makes me tick. But I would love to do a comedy. I mean, the first time I watched this with an audience and people laughed at Alice, I was sort of like looking around going, what's funny? You know, but I guess that there is some comedy in her, you know, there's a kind of, I guess, I don't know comedy, you know, it's not what I come from, it's not what I trained in or anything, but I suppose comedy is another word in a funny way for compassion, you know, if you sort of, with Alice, for instance, like you get it, you know. I also, I didn't get it because, you know, for instance, Alice goes car auction, can't drive a car. I can't drive a car. I would totally go to a car auction and try and buy a car and not know that you can't deliver it. There's this great, I don't know if you can hear it sometimes in certain, but I don't know if you can hear when she says, can I get it delivered? And the woman says, this isn't Grubhub. Can you hear that? I mean, that's just genius writing. I love that. Anyway.
Well, on behalf of Australians in Film, we're so grateful that you came tonight and shared WIDOWS with us, and can't wait to see what's next. I think it's Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, maybe? Some more comedy there.